Hello once again guys, welcome back to my 6th edition vlog. This video we're gonna cover vehicles or give you a minor look into the changes they made to this section because there's a lot of changes to go over. First thing that stands out is that they added this hull point system. I'll get into it later, but it's very interesting and makes the vehicle even more durable. Moving on, so ballistic skill, armor value, and everything is still the same, but let's get to the types. Now, they added new types as chariots and heavy hover. So these are the three types that actually are new in this edition. I'm going to get into the specific types of vehicles later, or maybe even in another video, depending on how long this takes. So movement, there's still 4 speeds. So stationary, combat speed where you can move up to 6 inches, cruising speed where you move 6 inches to 12 inches, and flat out where you move additional 6 inches after that 12 inches. So everything is the same. You measure the distance when you travel or when you move from the hull, and you measure from the muzzle when you fire a weapon. This edition, they actually changed to how many weapons you can fire. So in 5th edition, stationary, you can fire every weapon you have, and defensive weapons. Combat speed, you can fire 1 weapon and all defensive weapons. Cruising speed, you can fire no weapons except if you're fast. And flat out, nothing. In this edition, stationary stayed the same, but they actually got rid of the term defensive weapons. So stationary, you can fire all of your weapons. Combat speed, you can fire just one of your weapons at full ballistic skills, and can fire any other of your weapons at snapshot. So a 6 only to hit. And at cruising speed, you can fire all your weapons at snapshots. So basically, you can fire everything you have, it's just at a decreased ballistic skill. Oh, Imperial Guard rejoice, I guess. So line of sight and armor facing and everything, that remains the same. Shooting at the vehicle, blast templates, everything remains the same. So let's get to the interesting points of hull points and damaging it. So in 5th edition, you don't need anything. You get a penetrating hit, you roll 5 or 6, the thing is dead. In this edition, let's go over the hull point system. So hull point system is sort of like the amount of wounds a vehicle has, and they actually change from what glancing and penetrating hits do. So let's get into it. So at a glancing hit, you don't need to roll on a shot anymore. A glancing hit is that the vehicle loses 1 hull point. A penetrating hit now, penetrating hit loses 1 hull point. This is confusing. Sorry about that. The penetrating hits is that after deducting any hull point, so 1, roll a d6 for each shot that penetrated the vehicle armor. Okay, I see now. Sorry about that. A bit of confusion. So penetrating hit. So the vehicle automatically loses 1 hull point, and then you have to roll the damage chart. And the damage chart is as follows. So 1 to 2, crew shaken. Still the same is that crew shaken is that the vehicle can only fire snapshots until the end of next turn. Number 3 is crew stun, and a crew stun is that a vehicle can only fire snapshots and cannot move unless it's a zooming flyer. Number 4 is weapon destroyed, and weapon destroyed now you cannot pick it. Everything which weapon is destroyed is at random. So no more taking, I want that Vindicator cannon out, or Demolisher cannon out. No, none of that. Number 5 is immobilize, which is immobilize. And number 6 is explode. And explode is that the units suffer strength 3 AP dash 6 inches away from the vehicle. And high AP weapons is that if it's an AP 2, you get a +1 to the roll, and if it's an AP 1, you get a +2 to this damage roll. So quite interesting, So, and maybe you're asking yourself, where did wreck go? This is in order to wreck a vehicle now, you have to destroy or basically eliminate all the vehicle's hull points. Then it automatically wrecks. So if a rhino has 3 hull points, or 3 wounds, you need to hit it with 3 glancing hits or 3 penetrating hits to just wreck it outright. So it's a bad thing, I don't know, but I really like it. It gives anything a chance to actually get a glancing hit. Glancing hits now are good to me. Cover, it's 25%, and all these, and that's about it. That's the major changes that I find interesting and in the damage chart. Now moving on to transport. So transport has always been there in 40k, no matter if it's an orc truck, a Space Marine Rhinos, Dark Elders shippy thingies, and so on. So transport, what did they change in transport? Capacity is still the same, so whatever it's in its profile. Firing points are still the same, depending on what vehicle you have. You can fire in, out from it. Depends. Access points, the doors, embark. Now, here are the big changes, and you will say, "Yeah, what the?" Embarking, yes. To get on a vehicle, you have to be 2 inch. The unit embarking must be within 2 inches from the vehicle's access point or doors. However, disembarking is no longer limited to this 2-inch radius, but 6 inches. So you can disembark 6 inches away from the access point and still run or shoot weapons. 6 inches. No. So, yeah. Awesome. So you can actually get away from exploding if you want. So, okay. So moving on to if it's a transport and you have a unit inside, what does the damage charge do to the units inside? So if it's a crew shaken, passengers can only fire snapshots in the next shooting phase. So even though you disembark, the results actually goes on to the units as well. If it's a crew stun, the passengers cannot shoot at all. Weapon destroyed or immobilized, no effect. Makes sense. If it's a wreck, they have to make they must make a emergency disembark within 3 inches. So it's not the 6 inches that you get in normal disembarking. They halved it. Pretty makes sense. And any model that cannot disembark within that 3-inch bubble automatically dies, and the vehicle becomes a wreck, and they have to take a pinning test. So pretty much the same. And explode is that they suffer a strength 4 AP dash hit and must take a pinning test. So that's about it. That's about the major changes that they changed to vehicles. There's actually a whole new introduction on rules on flyers. We have been expecting this. That's why the Game Workshop actually launched the new flyers for Space Marines and Orcs, and I'd be very surprised if they don't actually launch more for all the factions, including Tyranids. So expect big flying aliens as well. But yeah, so that's all I want to cover today. There's actually more to get into, but wow, major changes into how tanks work in 40k. If it's a good, it's a bad, post in the comment down below. For now, thank you for watching.